Hello everyone. We have something very unique on the channel today. Imagine if South Park chose to analyze the most recent Harper's Bazaar issue featuring Meghan Markle. This issue has a brand new interview with the Duchess, as well as a ton of what can only be described as intriguing pictures of her. Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny, our favorite troublemakers from Colorado, couldn't ignore such a feeling. Now, let's get started. It will be humorous, scathing, and, I fear, excruciatingly real, especially for Meghan. The South Park playground is where the episode begins. The boys are gathered around a frayed magazine that Cartman has obviously previously borrowed from the teacher's lounge. The wind is chilling, and the snow is crunching beneath their feet. With the expression of an experienced royal expert, Kyle flips through Meghan's interview and exclaims, "Wait a minute, guys, is she repeating all of this nonsense? Does she really intend to start a new chapter in her life?" Indeed, Meghan is playing her favorite broken record inside the magazine. For instance, she describes herself as knowing beyond her years, like an ancient spirit imprisoned in a child's body for the 100th time. She painstakingly paints an image of the ideal straight person, saying, "I was always the nerd, the smartest in the class, the one who understood everything." A pupil who seemed to have known from birth how the world operated. Naturally, without the fabled Procter & Gamble tale, where would we be? Right now, that is a genuine genre classic. Meghan remembers once again how, when she was 11 years old, she saw a sexist dish soap ad, became enraged, and sent an angry letter to the firm. The company apparently altered the slogan right away because they were afraid of the anger of a young girl. For years, this narrative has bounced from interview to interview, like it's the sole evidence of her unending valiant struggle for justice. Cartman snaps and rolls his eyes. "I risked my big ass to take this magazine, dude, and it seems so familiar. Justice is what I fight for. The world is altered by me. Blah, blah, blah." If she were a superhero, her superpower would be to recite classic tales until the antagonists are bored to death. Abruptly, he becomes immobile. His face begins to gradually become purple. You never know with him whether he's excited or furious. He discovers a line that makes even his own antics seem like harmless child's play among all that sleep-inducing drill. Every time Meghan walks into a room, someone has to loudly, seriously, and pompously introduce her as the Duchess of Sussex, according to the article's author, Caitlin Greenidge, who is utterly deadpan. Furthermore, we are not discussing a reception at Buckingham Palace. In the most commonplace settings, this little rite takes place. Here's an illustration. Meghan visits the Los Angeles Natural History Museum for a dig. There are females waiting from a nearby school. "Attention, the Duchess of Sussex." A man in a suit yells in all seriousness as he suddenly leaps out in front of them as they're only standing about, unaware. It seems that someone made the decision that 11-year-old schoolgirls must pass out from utter amazement. However, it becomes much more humorous. According to Greenidge, this carnival goes on even in private. Imagine this. They continued the interview at an opulent New York estate. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. "Even though it seemed like there was no one else in the house but the two of us," the house manager said as soon as I entered. According to the writer, at this point, even rational Kyle loses it. Hold on for a moment. She worked for years, complaining that she was being suffocated with titles. She used to be just Meghan, protecting chicks and baking bread, but now she needs a herald to even enter an empty room. Cartman simply gives his signature verdict while snorting. "You people simply don't understand. It's not procedure. Her ego is that. It's become so large that it now needs a press secretary. With great ceremony, the ego enters first, occupies every chair, and Meghan follows to make sure the furniture is sufficiently bent." However, reading all that dull stuff quickly becomes monotonous. Cartman yells that his brain is about to melt from boredom and insists that they go directly to the visuals since he can't handle too much words. A thick, uncomfortable stillness descends upon the group as Stan turns to the photo spread in search of something intriguing. The first person to speak is Kyle. "Guys, don't you think this looks kind of creepy?" he asks slowly while pointing at a black and white photo. Meghan is shown in the picture sitting barefoot on the floor with her hands in a purposefully relaxed position and her legs crossed in a very particular way. The guys who have seen everything because of the internet immediately know the photograph. It's not an arbitrary stance. It is an eerily accurate replica of Princess Diana's well-known photos. This is complete cosplay. Kyle erupts. Take a look at the inclination of the head. Because even when I'm in pain, I appear powerful. She disguised up like the late mother of her spouse. Cartman nods enthusiastically, emphasizing that it's a continuous process. The ridiculousness just increases as the boys continue to flip. Meghan is dressed like Victoria Beckham with a trench coat on the next page. The lads can see it. She lacks a distinct personality. Cartman tosses the magazine aside as if it were infectious, saying she's like an empty shell. She puts on the personas of other women. She is Princess Diana today and Victoria Beckham tomorrow. She is little more than a vacuum dressed in high-end clothing, frantically attempting to fill it with pictures of other people. Everyone in the group believes that this fashion homage resembles a scene from a subpar psychological thriller. Cartman then picks up the magazine once more in an attempt to finish the material, and he reaches a passage right away that makes his egotistical little heart skip a beat. As it happens, Meghan made the decision to divulge a personal detail about her marriage. Rather than saying, "We love each other so much," she says, "He loves me so boldly, fully. He loves me more than anybody else in the world. Therefore, I know he will always look out for me." The men sent something off right away. People usually talk about how much they love someone, but Meghan is different. She just expresses her affection to everyone. Harry is not a husband in this interview, that he is just the pinnacle of her prestige. In essence, there is just one thing in her statements. See how much he loves me? It sounds more like a tribute to her own excellence than a love tale. At one point, she expressly thanked her show's audience for liking her. She has now gone even beyond and declared Prince Harry to be her biggest admirer. Fortunately for everyone, the magazine is now thrown into the closest garbage can. Cartman declares that he must eat right soon in order to de-stress. We'll leave you there. Please like and subscribe if this brought you joy.